Welcome to the fundamental updates for 14th of December 2025, and this is the last fundamental update for the year. Yes, we've come to an end, and I want you all to understand that this year was a very beautiful trading year. We started with fundamentals and we ended with fundamentals. In the academy, we made a lot of profit, starting from the tariff announcement all the way to risk off, all the way to risk on, all the way down to monetary policy, rate cuts, rate hikes. Very beautiful year. I would love to do a recap, but that will take a lot of time. So let's just go straight into what we had last week. I'll be explaining what happened last week because a lot of you were confused, and I will also be explaining what we have for the remaining part of this month and what you should prepare for 2026. Let's go straight into it. So first of all, I told you that last week we are going to be having a rate cut decision on dollar, and I told you that dollar is going to be weak, and that is exactly what played out. Let us look at the chart and see how dollar is looking right now. You can see dollar is selling massively. Now, why did this happen? Well, I want you to understand that after the rate cut decision, which market has already priced into, we had something called the statement. Now, the statement is simply what the Fed, what the investors feel about the decision in which the Fed government made. So the statement is what they will tell you, okay, how is it going to be in the long run? And the statement also came out bearish. Why I told you all that you shouldn't trade during times of news release is because the statement can come out opposite of the news. For example, we can have a rate cut, and then the Fed can still say they see no other room for any further rate cut, and they are going to be having a rate hike next month. That is a positive statement, and that might make dollar bullish. That was why I told you all, do not trade during the times of monetary policy or during the times of they're announcing a rate cut decision. You understand? So let's look at EURUSD, which was my favorite. I told you that EURUSD was going to come back down a little before going all the way to the top. I didn't take the trade. Forget this thing you might be seeing here. I didn't take the trade, but I was just analyzing it based on the fact that, let's say I was using pure technical analysis, right? I didn't know the news was going to release that day. That would have been a very good position to enter, and that would have been a very good massive profit to make, because EURUSD bought all the way to the top, which was very beautiful. A lot of technical traders took this trade. I will tell you again, this is a very risky trade. Taking trades on the day of news events is a very risky trade, because that was the day in which the news was released, and you can see the massive candle push to the upside. Taking trades, especially monetary policy news, on the day of the release is very risky, because on a good day the market can go in your favor, right? But on a bad day, which mostly happens 80% of the time, the market will sweep you out. You understand? Because the statement usually used to be the opposite of the decision. Now, why was the statement in line with the decision? I want you to understand that by 2026 a new Fed chairman is going to be on seat. Yes, we all know Powell was the chairman, right? Was the one you usually used to call the rate cut decision or the rate hike decision. Now Trump is planning on putting a new Fed chairman, and that is going to change the market environment to being bearish for dollar. Why? Because the new Fed chairman is in support of dollar weakness, is in support of further rate cuts. So due to this news, right, dollar is already seeing more weakness. Do you understand? The dollar is already seeing more weakness. Let's look at the calendar and look at more news in which we had last week. We can see the rate decision on AUD. Now, rate decision on AUD came out neutral, and AUD kept on selling. But I guess during the week, AUD actually picked up strength, right? Yes, AUD actually picked up strength during the week. Now, the one in which I have in mind, which is actually a very good trading opportunity, is JPY. Now, JPY economy, they are seeing reasons to actually hike interest rates. Now, what does this mean for JPY? It means that USD JPY might be bearish. You understand? USD JPY might actually keep selling. Why? Because JPY will strengthen. And due to the fact that dollar is weak and JPY is strong, this is seeing more room. This is giving more room for a JPY sell. Do you understand? It's giving more room for a JPY sell. So the economy, or will I say the BOJ, the Bank of Japan, they are seeing reasons for a rate hike on Japanese yen. So if they increase interest rates for Japanese yen, we would see a little bit of massive sell-off on JPY quoted currencies. Do you understand? On JPY quoted currency, we might see a little bit of a sell-off. If we are looking at this is already a good exhaustion of the uptrend, and we are seeing room for a sell on CAD JPY if we are looking at it based on trend line, based on technically. You understand? But I'm just giving you all a heads up that JPY is going to actually be bullish over time. due to the fact that we are expecting a rate hike on JPY pair. Do you get? On AUD was picking up strength. AUD was picking up strength due to the fact that the Fed was saying, oh, they don't see reasons to cut interest rates further. But all of a sudden, the economic indicators for AUD started coming out weak. The economic indicator for AUD started coming out weak. That was why we saw AUD JPY rose all the way to the top, and all of a sudden we can see a little bit of sell pressure coming back in. Why? Because AUD started becoming weak. Due to the fact that economic calendar on AUD, let us go and see some. Economic calendar on AUD started coming out weak. I don't know what did I press. Let's see if I can correct this. So let me change this and get it back on track so that we can know what we are looking at. So the economic calendar on AUD started coming out weak, and this was what made the Fed started changing their mind on AUD. You can see employment change came out to minus 21.3, which is this minus 21.3k. You can see, so this thing is showing that AUD economy is getting weak. And if you read data, fundamental data, you see more reasons why AUD economy was becoming weak. So this is reducing the probability of a rate hike, which they were preparing for next year. What am I trying to say? I'm not trying to say AUD is weak now. I'm not trying to say AUD is strengthening. I'm trying to say AUD is neutral. So if you're someone that trade AUD, you know that, oh, you love trading AUD, then I suggest you should be very careful, because the currency pair might be a little bit neutral. Now, some of you ask me, why is it that I only give fundamental updates on USD, JPY, and AUD? Well, this is because this is my currency of interest. Now, there's something I usually do teach my fundamental students, my macro mastery students, that in fundamentals, you shouldn't have too many currencies of interest. What does this mean? You shouldn't be looking at the fundamentals for so many currencies, because this will confuse you. For example, I look at fundamental on USD, I look at fundamental on JPY, I look at fundamental on AUD. Now, if you learn macroeconomics from me, you can look at fundamental on any of these currencies. If you like Euro, you can look at fundamental on Euro. If you like CAD, you can look at fundamental on CAD. If you like CHF, you can look at fundamental on CHF. And the best part is you would be understanding what is happening fully in the economy, and also how this would affect the currency pair. You understand? I've already given out an outlook to what my course look like. I don't know if this went off. I've already given out an outlook to what my course look like. In case you're interested, you can simply click the link in my description. You can text me up on WhatsApp. I'll give you details about the training. You understand? We are still at a discount, but that discount wouldn't last for long. As we're entering 2026, we are going to be ending the discount anytime soon. So that's just simply it. In case you're interested in learning macroeconomics, you know what to do, you know who to meet. So let's keep going. Let us look at our outlook for next week. Now, next week I wouldn't be trading. I didn't trade last week, and this week wouldn't be different. I'm not trading anymore. Why am I not trading? Well, because we have reached the festive period. Volatility will drop. Manipulation will, be all over the place in the market. You shouldn't be trading as well. But this is just an advice I'm giving you. I'm not saying you should follow it. But if you know that, oh, you're someone that love taking trade, this is the period where you should be very, very careful, because the market is going to be filled with volatility, is going to be filled with manipulations. You understand? Volatility will drop actually, but manipulations will be very high. Because investors are leaving the market, they're leaving the chart, they don't see any reason to be trading. And next week, I just think it's a week from now, we are going to be celebrating the actual Christmas, which is on 25th of December, right? So we are already on the 14th of December, if I'm not mistaken. So you should be very, very careful about the type of trade you're taking this coming week, because the markets might be very, very slow. But the one in which I should put you all should put an eye on, based on my fundamental updates, is the JPY pairs. Now, JPY, CAD JPY, USD JPY, all of them look like they are about to sell. I'm just saying this, but I wouldn't be taking any trade on them. Like I said, we've already reached the ending of the year. This is a period where you should celebrate, enjoy your time. You understand? If you made profit this year, you analyze what you did right. If you did not make profit, if you made more of losses, you analyze what you did wrong. This is the period of learning. I expect you all to be learning as well. You understand? I myself, I spend most of my time learning. So that is what I expect you all to be doing. So let me see if there's any analysis I can show you all before I call it, a day. So look at Euro USD. Euro USD already look like something that has gone. I don't think anyone would catch this anymore, except if you have a retracement back to this zone or this key level. If we get a retracement, sure, you can look for a buy opportunity for me, but for now EURUSD is gone and might actually just keep buying or might just start consolidating at that zone. For USD GPY looks like a good selling, like it's forming a good selling opportunity if I'm not mistaken, because the market is already heading all the way down. If market should sweep liquidity and give you reasons to enter, you can still sell all the way to the downside, but be careful of all these key levels because they were an issue once. You understand? This key level was an issue once, you can see. So the market might come back there and reject it as well. You understand? For CAD JPY, the CAD economy is strong. I would say you should be very, very careful. CAD JPY might still be an uptrend, but there might be a retracement all the way down here before the uptrend continues to the top. So that's just simply it. For AUD pairs, I told you AUD is neutral because AUD economy is looking a little bit shaky. They were talking about increasing rate hike. All of a sudden, they are no longer increasing it anymore. So you should be very, very careful in whatever you're doing when it comes to AUD pair. You can see AUD rose a bit, and if you want to take this trade on a sell, you can. But I would say you should be very careful. So with that being said, I would advise you, if you're actually looking for an advice from me, I advise you to take a break, take a chill pill, learn this period, right? Do not start trying to catch trade because it's Christmas period, you want to celebrate Christmas. Learn this period and get ready for 2026. By January, opportunities will come up again. You start trading again. The market is going nowhere. The opportunities you missed this year, you will still see it next year. With that being said, have a lovely trading week ahead and Merry Christmas in advance.